floor exercise.
He's got to be wondering about the condition of his brother. They're very close. They train together. They encourage each other, support each other. Front handspring, front full, front layout, front 1.5. Scott, it's become a compulsory line. Every guy out there is doing it for the huge bonus points.
Talked about the incredible depth in China. On the floor exercise at the national championships this year, Zhao Zhu finished second.
And they're very young. The twins are 20, and the other team members they've brought are only 16 and 17 years old. So you can see the future of China.
And one of the 16-year-olds, Jing Aoi, continues to lead the individual all-around competition.
Zhao Zhu has a very balanced routine. Big tricks, lots of strength. But the judges are also looking for a little flair, a little pizzazz, and he has that. Following in the tradition of Li Shaoshuang, a hero to him. But he is definitely saving the best for last. Watch this. Double twisting, double back. It's a little short, but boy, is that tough to get to your feet at the end of your routine when you're completely fatigued.
And that mat there to absorb the impact of that dismount at the end of the floor exercise, banging his head. Zhao Zhu, another look.
Can't believe he got it down. You're looking at 2 twists, 2 flips before he comes back down. The mat is not a deduction. They are allowed to put that in to absorb the landing.
Part of the dynamic duo, as you said, Carol Angela. 9.2 for Zhao Zhu of China. And here's American superstar Blaine Wilson. High hopes for him at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. He is growing in terms of his prowess with every meet he takes part in.
Well, this particular competition is going to be hard for me because I've had a couple injuries and I haven't been able to train the exact way I wanted to train for this meet. But I think this meet for me will be more of a mental competition than it is a physical competition. So it should be good. You know, I have to learn how to deal with that.
Blaine scored very well on the floor exercise, and now he goes to the rings.
And I have always been very impressed with Blaine's mental composure. Remember, this sport is physical, technical, and psychological, and he's a very well-balanced athlete. Now you're getting a great example of his physical strength. The upper body has to be so strong in order to be successful. All of the positions must be held for 2 seconds, and you can see his muscles are really working. He needs to keep the rings fairly steady. Gorgeous front giant, must stop in the handstand position, getting ready for the dismount. Full twisting double out. Ooh, he did not want to take that hop. That'll be a 10th.
10th all around at the World Championships in Switzerland. Interesting, you talked to him. He said it's not cockiness, it's confidence. 9.5 is what that confidence is built on for Blaine Wilson of the United States. There's Peter Schmidt, the reigning Canadian champion, out with an injury, unable to compete, but still giving his teammates a hand, warming them up.
Great to see him down there with Team Canada. Wish he was on the competitive floor.
Sebastien Fortier now of Ottawa, Ontario originally, now lives in Gatineau.
And a very interesting routine. Sebastien and his coach Matthew Sparks have studied the code of points thoroughly. He doesn't have any of the traditional big tricks, but he knows how to work the code, and his start value is 9.8, which is very impressive. Now here's a perfect place where he's getting most of his marks. Pommel horse work, beautiful spindle, and a little break dancing.
Nice lines by the 21-year-old Sebastien Fortier.
He's young with a bright future. Now he'll impress you with phenomenal strength. Almost impossible to hold that, and he does it beautifully.
Making his rise quickly at the 97 Nationals in Ottawa, he was 23rd all around, but really creeping up for a shot on this national team.
Now that's the only part of the routine that is weak, to finish with a double twist and then to get stalled in the air slightly. But his routine is impressive to the judges because of tricks like this. Whip through to 1.5, 1.5. Judges love to see the intricate twisting, and they give big bonus for it.
Masterful job by the young Canadian, 9.250 on the floor exercise. So 3 are done at the arena. Jing Aoi of China pulling away. Kratzov of Australia and Wilson of the U.S. next. The top Canadians, Burley and Aikida. China continues to lead the pack in the team competition handily. Meantime, Canada tries to get a handle on the pommel horse when we return to Winnipeg.
1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 out of 3.
It's a great color. You're gonna love it.
Okay, pick a straw.
Top quality beauty tone paint from Home Hardware comes with a no-quibble guarantee.
Heads or tails?
And Home Hardware has more than 1,000 exciting colors, so the hardest part is choosing one.
It's durable and it looks great.
Home Hardware, health is close to home.
Okay, it looks great. But I get to pick the colors for the doghouse.
Get plugged into CBC Tuesdays at 8 It's Consumer Magazine Marketplace.
This is really a breakthrough.
Reporting on what is hot and what definitely is not.
Don't even try them.
Then, bank on Diane Buckner to deliver the goods on how business works.
Remember, this is a different country.
On Venture. Followed by an all-new episode of Zosky in Conversation.
I'm quite a patriotic Canadian.
Featuring some of Canada's most fascinating and provocative personalities. Tuesday night on CBC.
Winning the lottery, some would have you believe it's about being lucky. But the trouble with luck is some have it and some don't. So you have to be lucky to have luck. So how do you know if you're lucky if you're not lucky enough to know it? So forget about luck. Winning is mental sharpness. So when you choose a scratch and win ticket, don't choose just any old ticket. Choose the winning ticket. Ooh. Excuse me?
Yes?
Would you exchange that for a winning ticket? See what I mean? Mental sharpness. Talk to you later.
Warming up is Canadian Richard Aikida, who knows he must carry much of the load for a shorthanded men's team with Peter Schmidt and Alexander Jeltkov out. Aikida is being counted on.
It doesn't really make me nervous. It just sort of makes me more aggressive because I have to, I guess, fill in for those guys who are a little injured and, you know, can't really perform at their peak. So for myself, it just makes me more aggressive and makes me want to train more and, you know, be ready for the team.
Unlike most gymnasts, one of his favorite events is the pommel horse.
And it is his best event. And Scott, I like the word he's using, aggressive. Team Canada must be aggressive. He has a very intricate routine, and that adds to the risk. He has a full 10-point start value. That means the content is huge. It's what the judges want to see. But every time you add the intricate maneuvers, the chance of falling is huge.
So he's off the horse now, but back on to resume the routine.
Now, the good news is I have seen him fall before and still score over 9, which attests to how much is actually in this routine. Beautiful single pommel work, lots of bonus there. It's unfortunate he fell. The flow he's got going now, great rhythm, pushing through to the dismount.
And Richard talked about that rhythm earlier before this pommel horse routine. It was interrupted by the fall, but still, as you say, he scores well, even with the fall, an even 9. Andrei Kratzov of Australia, and he is a rising star, and the Australians are building their men's program around him.
A great athlete. Warwick Forbes is really pleased. That's the coach lifting him up to the high bar. Really pleased with Andrei's progress. He's quite talented, but interestingly enough, he stays within his comfort zone, so he always looks like he's in control.
Born in Russia, but has competed for Australia for about 4 years now.
He says he loves it there. That's his new home. High flying to Tkachev, right into a great ginger. Now again, those aren't the huge release moves. Those aren't the ease and the super ease. They are valued at C, but it is impressive. He's combining 2 in a row, and the judges do want to see that. Winding up for the dismount. Double twisting, double layout.
Flies out the other end, but gets it under control. He had Australia in the top 20 at the last World Championships in Switzerland, finishing 19th all around. Little smile from Andre there.
Putting on a good show for the judges. No deductions here. Catches fully extended with straight arms. Puts it up exactly right. Catches with straight arms. Perfect form.
Kratzov of Australia scores a solid 9.450 on the horizontal bar. Not much international experience for 25-year-old Chris Young of the United States, but he's got a big vault coming up.
He is going to be such an important player for USA. So powerful. Watch this. He burns down the runway. Handspring, double front. Makes it look too easy.
Gives it the little pump there. Knows he's got the job done. Chris Young of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Look at that, a 9.5 on the vault. Brett Hudson of Australia, who was solid on the vault as well, scored a 9.5 there, and his coach Warwick Forbes takes him up to the high bar.
We've talked about Australia being a rising power. This is one event that they're starting to dominate. All of this in-bar work is a requirement, and it's very valuable, so the men are putting a lot of it in. But the nice thing about Brett's routine is he balances that with huge tricks. There is a pike Kovacs that he caught by his fingernails, and one more. Now that is big. The judges give each one of those a super E. That's 6/10 bonus for both of them. Double twisting, double layout. That is a fantastic routine for Brett.
Brilliant performance by Brett Hudson. Australians are building quite a team. Veterans Brennan Dowrick is also there, as well as Andre Kratzov. Another look at this routine.
Here we go. High-flying pike Kovacs. Great catch. Swings it around. He's going to flip up over the bar again. Kovacs in the pike position. Kicks it open. He's just flying.
Well, it's the mark of the meet so far, 9.750 for Hudson, but it's still China's Jing Aoi after 4 rotations. The Australian Kratzov is close. And look at this, the Americans who were heavily favored are well back of China, Australia on the team side. When we return, Chinese twins who are standing tall at the Pacific Alliance Gymnastics Championships in Winnipeg. More?
Yes! Call 1-888-SPEEDY-8 for a Speedy near you.
The uniquely human ritual of service.
How does that feel?
A madcap look at how we've gone from this to this.
No problem, sir.
At your service.
Hello.
Tonight at 8 on Witness.
It's you he's gonna come after.
An escaped convict has a small town on the edge.
I don't want trouble. Is Willie in danger?
Winter is coming, so is the hunter.
Can one man save them? For those who hunt the wounded down, tonight.
Experience the challenge of Prince Albert's newest golf course, Silver Hills Golf Resort. With natural rolling terrain, water hazards, and foliage, it's nature's challenge to the golfer. Silver Hills is a 9-hole par 36 course with a driving range, practice putting green, tiered tee boxes, licensed clubhouse, and competitive green fees. Also, club and cart rentals, memberships, and passes are available. Silver Hills Golf Resort. Let nature's natural beauty be your next challenge. 7 minutes west on number 302, Prince Albert's.
Recreational campfires are the single largest preventable cause of forest fires in Saskatchewan. Help save our forests and observe these safety rules. Clear away surface litter down to mineral soil or rock. Have a shovel and pail of water on hand. Never leave your fire unattended. When finished, douse thoroughly and stir up the coals. Then check with your hands to make sure it's out. On behalf of keeping Saskatchewan's forests green,
Sear Contracting Limited, Prince Albert, and Weyerhaeuser, Canada.
Back in Winnipeg as the Chinese men continue to cruise after 4 rotations. This is still a very young team, but it's built on a solid foundation of talented twins. Brothers in arms, they are identical 19-year-olds, Zhao Shen, Zhao Zhu, together symbols of much more expressive Chinese gymnasts.
因为在训练中，气氛和训练失败成功的这种垂头丧气对我们不好。我们要体现中国队的自信，而且非常重要这个。而且我们在训练中也喜欢开玩笑，特别是我们俩兄弟在一起。
They are the hard-working future of the men's side of the sport in their powerhouse country, unafraid to reveal their delight as competitors.
我和我哥，他是比较外向型的，我是属于那种内向型的。这肯定跟那个出身有关系吧。他比我大一点，他见世面肯定多一点的话，所以我给外面感觉是挺内向，其实我也感觉我也有点外向型的。
Don't let their easy way fool you, though. Together, they know they're expected to deliver the goods.
在这次比赛中，我们争取我们的最大目标就是争取团体冠军。因为美国队今年来了，我们因为去年3月份在中美罗比赛中输给美国队，所以说我们最大的目标就是能够战胜美国队，这是我们最大的目标。
Hard to tell them apart, unmistakable in tandem, outgoing and productive partners as China marches on. And here's one half of the dynamic duo, 5 minutes younger than his older brother, Zhao Zhu to the rings.
Now, he talked about the competition they lost. That was in the United States. It was China, Romania, USA, and the American men came out on top, which was a big boost for them, but a painful blow for China. So they really would like to get back on top. Perfect positions. This is an event where you want the rings to be incredibly still and make those impossible strength moves look easy. And when he flips through the rings like that, doing a gozogi to stop on a dime, no swing of the rings at all. Oh, he's pulling off a beautiful routine at this point. This has a full 10-point start value, and he nails the landing. Double layout.
Right on the money for Zhao Zhu of China. Their younger teammate, Jing Aowei, leads the all-around competition, but the highest mark we've seen on the rings, 9.650. Blaine Wilson of the United States continues to roll along now on the parallel bars.
A very cool guy with a terrific competitive attitude. He says it's not cocky, it's not arrogant, it's just confident, and I love that. Beautiful. Makes him a great performer. In this sport, you must be able to perform under pressure, and that's what Blaine is so good at. Keeping the routine moving. The judges want to see one trick connected right after the other. Stutz to one bar. Little extra swing there. Right into a double back. Didn't even have time to set up for the dismount. Had to over-rotate it a little bit, but that is a real moving routine. Giant full. Right through to a double back.
Started out his career as a competitive soccer player, gave that up at a very young age. For gymnastics, 9.25 on the P-bar, showed a little bit of a wince there. I wonder if he's dealing with any kind of problems. Now we go to the rings, and the older brother still competing in spite of the nose injury on the horizontal bar. This is Zhao Chen.
Oh, talk about tough. He's got to be feeling that pain right now. Beautiful position on the Maltese. Oh, great shot. Can actually see the muscles working. Tremendous upper body strength on the inverted crosses. And here's his brother coaching him from the sidelines. That was a laid out gozogi. And to swing through the bottom like that and stop in perfect positions, it is so demanding. And that's the unfortunate thing about this event. They make it look too easy.
His brother scored a 9.650 on the rings, and here comes the dismount for Zhao Shen.
double layout with the greatest of ease. Good performance for his team, but you can see he's in a lot of pain.
In more ways than one, there's the nose injury. He's also been knocked out of the all-around competition, but still a solid 9.550 for Zhao Chen. On the rings, Andrei Kratsov of Australia and Blaine Wilson of the U.S. are waging a battle for the individual all-around lead. After 5 rotations, 1 event remains for each team, and China is in the driver's seat. We'll return to Winnipeg with the men's final apparatus in just a moment.
Going to find you.
Most of them do not consider this to be a criminal act.
We will shut you down.
When you say lucrative, it's unimaginable.
Freon is probably one of the single most dangerous chemicals in the depletion of the ozone layer.
Next week on The National. Get plugged into CBC Tuesdays. Starting at 8, it's Consumer Magazine Marketplace. Then, Diane Buckner gets down to business on Venture. Followed by an all-new episode of Zosky in Conversation. Tuesday night on CBC.
For quality and superior design, think West Steel grain bins and think of your Co-op Agro Center. Your local Co-op is there from the purchase through to erecting your new grain bin. The Co-op will deliver your new bin to the farm, and they can custom move bins between sites. They also have a bin crane available for rent when installing cones or adding extension tiers. For superior quality, West Steel grain bins, and for trusted products and service, see your local Co-op Agro Center today.
Mega City Radio, summertime and the living is easy, but not if you're on the Parkway. Summer road construction, expect the Parkway to...
Back at the Winnipeg Arena, Scott Russell along with Carol Angelo Orchard and Karen Larson for the Pacific Alliance Gymnastics Championships. Last chance to make an impression in the men's team and individual all-around competition. There are the leaders, the Chinese men. Here is Jing Aoi, who hopes to vault his way to a medal.
And it's a one-shot deal. 1 vault, 1 score, and it's going to be a good one. That's an Ethiopian start value 9.8, so the judges see it as a valuable vault, and he loved it.
Talk about the expressive Chinese gymnast. Here's Jing Aoi.
Beautiful entry, looks for the ground, stays right in between the 2 lines. No deduction there.
Led through 4 rotations, 9.450 for Jing Aoi of China. There's Blaine Wilson, the United States, and he's got his arm iced. Looks like he's pulling out of this all-around competition.
He's got 2 problems. That's ice on the shoulder and on the wrist.
So Blaine Wilson will not do the high bar. Lu Bin of China now to the vault.
Lu Bin is an excellent vaulter. The entire Chinese national team is so good at this. Absolutely picture-perfect form in the air. Coach is delighted. Front 1.5. The judges are going to have to struggle to find a deduction on that. It's out of 9.8. Even in slow motion, legs glued together, they're straight. A slight 1 to 2 tenths on the landing, but that's it.
Well, the Chinese have used all their depth. 9.6 for Lu Bin. Andrei Kratsov now of Australia with a chance to nail down the individual all-around competition. What with the injury to Blaine Wilson, he goes to the pommel horse.
And this is a tough one to finish on, Scott. It's like the women finishing on balance beam. Beautiful control. He doesn't find this a difficult event to perform. But this is the one event that if you get out of rhythm, out of sync, if you get your center of gravity away from your base of support, there's no chance to recover. Beautiful flared spindles. Oh.
Quite frankly, he's got a little room to maneuver because of Wilson's withdrawal from the high bar.
Oh, but I bet his heart doesn't think that way. I think he sees that gold medal flashing before his eyes. It's going to come up to what the judges do.
Andrei Kratsov of Australia on the pommel horse. Jing'ahui of China would be his closest competitor. Wilson has pulled out from the high bar, and so he is no longer in contention. 8-9-5 is the score for Andrei Kratsov of Australia. And so the final results, he had enough. Kratsov takes the gold, Jing'ahui the silver, Lu Bin the bronze. China wins the team gold, Australia next. The U.S. in a shocker winds up third. They were also favored to win the individual gold. Here's Karen Larson.
Scott, Andrei Kratsov of Australia is the men's all-around champion. Andrei, were you expecting the kind of performance you had here today?
I was expecting a bit better performance, but if, as you say, I'm first, I'm quite happy with that, but not happy with my performance.
You had a little problem on the pommel horse. Tell us what happened on that.
That's a big problem. It's not a little problem. I was a little bit off balance, and then when I turned, I stood on my finger, and then I tried to pull it out, and that split second that I lost there, that cost me a fall.
Certainly it must be, though, a big international win for you here heading into a Commonwealth Games in a couple months.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest competition in Australia, and so I'm really pleased and surprised with my performance.
Well, good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Scott, back to you.
Thank you, Karen and Andre. The women finishing their warm-ups. They're next when we return to Winnipeg.
The competition, the Panasonic Palmcorder. Notice how the image from his camera is more stable, as if he weren't moving at all.
So what else is new?
Stable even when you're not. And the tapes playing your VCR.
Turbulence is caused by irregular motions in the atmosphere. But if you win the out of the blue jetaway, you can cause your own. If you're at the right bar at the right time and you win, the Bat Blue will send you and a friend to a mystery city on a private jet, leaving that night. Getting there will be half the fun. The out of the blue jetaway must be legal drinking age, no purchase required. Labatt.
Hold on! Kool-Aid is busting out. Twisting up 3 new Mountain Berry flavor combos unlike any before. New Mega Mountain Twist. Cruising Mega Mountain. Flavors so wet, so wild, so intense. Come on, big man, take it to the floor. Cruising Mega Mountain. There's Great Berry Splash, Soaring Strawberry Lemonade, Blasting Berry Cherry. Yo, big man, let's get extreme.
Cruising Mega Mountain.
New Kool-Aid Mega Mountain Twist.
We're back at the arena in Winnipeg as the championships continue, and we're getting set for the women's team and individual all-around events. And one of the intriguing things, Carol Angela, about the Pacific Alliance Championships is the way they score the team event. What effect might that have on the outcome of the championships as a whole?
Only the 3 best scores on every event are added for the team total. That means any one of the 12 nations represented here has a shot at it. But to win, it'll be the team that has the most substantial routine content, and of course, they have to hit.
All right, so set the field for us. What individuals are we looking for to shine in Winnipeg?
Interestingly enough, every team has taken a similar philosophy. They're not promoting the individual, they're pushing the team. The team is the star. Look for USA, China, Canada, and I have been very impressed with the recent progress Australia's been making. But let's not forget the surprises that were thrown at us during the first half of the show in the men's competition. That's the essence of sport. Anything can happen.
This is a test event for the Pan American Games, which will be held in Winnipeg here at the arena a year from now. But more imminent for the Canadian team are the Commonwealth Games coming up in Malaysia just 2 months away. And what effect might that have on the performances of the Canadian women?
There's going to be a lot of pressure out there. The Canadian team has not been selected yet, and every athlete is painfully aware of that fact. They're going to want to hit. They're going to want to impress the national team coach in hopes of being selected toward the end of August for the Commonwealth Games team.
17-year-old Katie Rowland of Georgetown, Ontario, has an inside line on that team. She is the national champion, having won that title in May in Hamilton, Ontario.
And her performance on this event is a big reason why she's the national champion. An excellent routine, terrific composition. 2.5 punch front. Now, the judges will deduct for the one step, but here's where she really excels. Lots of passion. She makes terrific eye contact with the judges, and they like that. Triple twist, needs to pull it around a little bit more. Scott, we're going to see a lot of intricate jumps and turns. The athletes are depending on these combinations to get bonus points from the judges. The new rules have become so demanding that you can't do enough tumbling anymore to get the score. So the jumps and turns have become almost as important as the big tricks. Katie is very passionate. We have 3 Kates or Katies on the national team now. So at the 2-week training camp that just finished, we decided that Katie Rowland would be Katya. She's the most exotic one, the most passionate performer. This is a good start for Team Canada. That's going to be a solid score.
There's Katie Rowland, the national champion, who is coached here at the Pacific Alliance Championships by Debbie Vidmar.
She did a great job. This will be the one place the judges may nail her. Triple twist doesn't quite get her feet all the way around, but they know it's an intricate skill to perform.
There she is with Debbie Vidmar, 9.625, a great score. Michelle Charon, another one of the Canadian team coaches, also offering congratulations. Zena McLaughlin, the great Australian performer, to the vault now, the average of 2 to count.
You see the number 4504. That indicates to the judges exactly what she's going to perform, and it's a Yurchenko 1.5. That looks good.
17-year-old Zena McLaughlin trains at the Victorian Institute of Sport. She's the 98 Australian champion, 9.262, her final score on the vault. Sierra Sapinar of the United States, just 16 years old, to the beam.
An interesting story. One of the American stars, Kendall Beck, was injured yesterday in training, so Sierra has to come up with a big performance here. This is the biggest competition she's been at to date, and she looks so aggressive, so determined.
Third all around at the Junior Pacific Alliance Championships last year in Colorado Springs.
Back handspring layout, back handspring. I am very impressed. She works beam with a real tension. They call it balance beam, but actually there's not a lot of balance involved. Oh, beautiful. Full twisting back handspring chest roll.
She's got great coaching, coached by the 96 Olympic coach, Mary Lee Tracy from Cincinnati Gymnastics.
Punch front right to a jump. You could see her toes were hanging off the edge of the beam. She is not giving up or giving in. You can see the tension in everything that she does. Switch split through to a straddle jump. Just so much focus. Excellent tension. She knows she has a great routine. She needs to nail that dismount round off double back, and she gets it.
Well, forced into action, so to speak, and a great result for Sierra Sapinar of the United States.
Oh, USA knows they can count on her. This is going to be a big boost to her career. There's the dismount, 2 flips before she comes back down. Great landing.
There's Mary Lee Tracy, a 9.5 for Sierra Sapinar, a Californian who now lives and trains in the state of Ohio. Wang Mandan of China now to the uneven bars.
This is an event that the entire Chinese national team is reinventing. They are setting the trends. Take a look at her hands. Intricate pirouette work right into a high-flying Jaeger. The Chinese don't wear grips on their hands. They prefer the bare hands right to the bar. Gives them a better feeling, better sense. Beautiful. Pirouette work right through to the Tkachev. The coach steps in just in case she's in trouble, but she's not. Giants right through to full twisting double back. It doesn't get any better than that. She will have a full 10-point start value. And I'm not sure what the judges will be able to deduct for. Beautiful, right into the pike Jaeger. Look how far she has to travel to get over to the second bar.
Talk about the depth of the Chinese men. Same case for the women. A 9-8 on the uneven bars for Huang Mandan. And so she leads in the individual competition after one rotation. Kristen Maloney of the U.S. next. Rao Met-sen of China third. Katie Rowland fourth. China, USA, Japan, and Canada in that order in the team competition. When we return, the rising fortunes of the team down under. Stay with us from Winnipeg.
You've never seen anything like it. And it's headed for Canadian Tire. More selection. More parts for more makes and models of cars and light trucks. More quality brand names like Certified Brakes, Monroe Shocks, and TRW suspension parts. So now, you'll get the right parts when you need them at guaranteed low prices. Canadian Tire, Canada's auto parts store.
Looks refreshing. Tastes refreshing. Labatt Light. Right out of the ice.
I'm a footballer, not a movie star. I haven't got time to worry about my hair.
New Vitavi from L'Oreal, enriched with B3, B5, and E. L'Oreal's high-potency formula helps give your hair shine, strength, and vitality.
It does the job. For me, no other shampoo performs better. It's L'Oreal and I'm worth it.
New Vitaviv shampoo from L'Oreal for healthier-looking hair.
A man's shampoo from L'Oreal? It's about time.
Looks refreshing. Tastes refreshing. Labatt Light. Right out of the ice.
Back for the Pacific Alliance Gymnastics Championships, the Australians have been key to this sports organization. Now they're finding the way to center stage with improving results. It could be the California coastline, but it's down under, where in gymnastics Australians are underdogs no more, thanks to an import.
To them, I'm just the crazy American, but I'm using that as to my advantage, and I'm bringing in a little bit of a American style, I guess you'd call it, just to get these kids a little more competitive and have them know that there are consequences for each competition, and that falling off apparatus is not going to get us where we want to go. And so I'm trying to get these kids to have a little more fighting spirit.
She knows all about it. Coach to a world champion and gold medalist from the Atlanta Olympics, Shannon Miller. Peggy Liddick's pride, and finally the payoff for all the hard work.
We had to do a lot of mental preparation, and I had to do a lot of positive psychology with her, because she was so down on herself and was doubting herself so much, which of course nobody sees. When she walks out on the floor, she just, emulates confidence. When she landed, full in, stuck, finished, I was so happy, not only that she hit her routine, I was happy for that, but it was like the first words in my mind were, it's over. I was so happy that I didn't have to beat her up anymore, and she could rest and get this thing healed up.
Now wearing different stars and stripes, Liddick brings a winning tradition to ambitious Australia as the new national team coach.
But try to remember to present on every single routine, just so it's part of the routine.
She's helped us out a lot already in just 1 year, and our consistency has come up and our difficulty, and we're all just a lot more confident, and she's really helped us.
From Atlanta, I will always have those memories of walking into team finals with the hometown crowd. I mean, every person with an American flag waving, and the noise and the energy and the support, and that feeling will never, ever leave my mind. It was such an awesome feeling. And I would love to have the Australians walk into team finals and feel that. Not because I need it, but I would love those kids to feel that. There's just nothing like it. You can't create it, you can only experience it.
16-year-old Brooke Walker would love to have that feeling going into team finals. No question the Australians are on the rise thanks to Peggy Liddick, and Brooke goes to the uneven bars.
And there is nothing like that feeling. I agree with Peggy. And Brooke is one of the veterans on this team, and she could do big things for them heading into Sydney. Mark Colton steps in for the spot, but she's just fine. This is one of Brooke's strongest events. She's going to have a 9-9 start value. This is the toughest event to get a full 10 start value. Beautiful toe on half. Front giant full, winds it up, double front dismount.
Solid routine by Brooke Walker, the 1997 junior Australian champion.
Every time you pirouette or flip, big bonus. There's toe on full right to the ginger. You could see Mark standing by, ready to catch. He's not needed.
Here's the result, 9-4-5. There's no question the Australians are going to be a challenge to the Canadians and the English at the Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur. To China now, and Peng Sha on the beam.
And we've talked a lot about China being innovative on bars, but I think they own balance beam. Beautiful punch front salto mount. The amazing thing about that mount, Scott, a lot of the athletes are doing it. It is so blind and so difficult to stick. Gorgeous Yang Bo jump, named after one of the famous national team athletes, Yang Bo, anything that arches backward and is blind. Struggling to hold on, but that's a great combination. And that's the name of the game on this event, combination work. The judges want to see one trick right after the other. Makes it tough to do. Just gorgeous. A lot of athletes do the front salto. She's one of the few in the world that does it in a pike position. Makes it difficult to do because it's harder to rotate. Oh! Fighting. Love to see that attitude, not giving up. But you know that'll cost her.
Just 15 years old, and the Chinese just keep rolling out the great women gymnasts. You think of Mo Hulan, Liu Zhuan, and now a whole new generation of gymnasts represented by people like Peng Sha.
Great dismount. It's right on the money. She'll have the 3/10 deduction earlier on, but the rest is solid. Here's that neat tumbling line, front handspring, aerial walkover right into a back handspring chest roll. So she's showing front tumbling combined directly with back tumbling.
Peng Sha of China on the beam, walks the fine line with a 9.4. This is Elise Ray of Tallahassee, Florida, competing for the United States on the floor exercise.
And Scott, we're in for a treat. I talked to Coach Kelly Hill. She has a brand new line prepared for her athlete today, and she's going to do it in the first pass. I always love this routine. Elise is so precise in her movements. She's a gorgeous dancer. But this is the line she's psyched up for today. Triple twist through to punch front. That is world original. It is so...
No wonder it leaves you wide-eyed. New Wonder Girl by Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it.
Great start to the performance of Elise Ray. You talk about Kelly Hill, that's of Hills Angels, Dominique Dawes.
I think Elise Ray is following in Dawes' footsteps. Big double pike, just keeps it in bounds.
Elise was fourth all around at the 1997 U.S. Nationals in Denver, Colorado.
The thing I love about her routine is everything is so clean, so clear. You can take a photograph of each section of the choreography and come out perfectly. Two and a half. Ooh, that'll be a .1. But Scott, the rest is exquisite.
Tremendously intricate routine on the part of Elise Ray of the United States. Just a step out of bounds on the end of the final line, but should get a good result.
Take a look at this. World original, world class. Triple twist, sees the floor, has to immediately punch out of it in a split second.
There she is with her coach, Kelly Hill, 9.375 for Elise Ray of the United States on the floor exercise. Now we go to the vault, and a woman that Canada is counting on, Véronique Leclerc, 17 years old, of Saint-Hubert, Quebec.
You can definitely count on Véronique on this event. It's her event. Front pike, half out. Slight, uncharacteristic step to the side. Usually she nails those down, and I'm sure that's the technical correction that Michelle Charon just gave her. The landing is critical. It's the last impression. The judges have got to focus on that error, and she wants to eliminate that.
9.150 for the first of two vaults. The score is to be averaged for a final total.
She's going to perform the same vault again, but it's much better than the first one.
Véronique competed at the 1997 Worlds in Lausanne, Switzerland, where she was 28th all around. 9.212 the average for the two vaults. So as you say, Carol, much better the second time around. And here is Vanessa Atler of the United States, the floor exercise.
Scott, the next generation of American gymnasts are so exciting and so dynamic on floor. You liked Elise Ray's first line? Take a look at this one. Double layout, punch front. Atler is tremendously strong, and she's very fast twitch. That means she can get out of the floor before she's even taken off.
Has really burst onto the scene, shared the national championship in 1997 with Christy Powell.
She is a tumbler. Whip through to immediate double pike. Most athletes will put back handsprings in after the whip back to set up for the victory. Atler doesn't need to.
Reminiscent of the rise of Dominic Mosianu in 1996, Atler was the junior national champion, so she's already at the top of her game, only 16 years old.
Nice, precise jumps. Jump double turn, right on the money. Again, a well-balanced routine. She's passionate, she's dancing her heart out, but the best part, she can tumble. Triple twist. Spectacular performance.
Talk about the fast twitch of Vanessa Atler. There's the coach of the U.S. team, Donna Strauss. And great rewards for that routine, I'm sure.
Scott, this is mesmerizing. Double layout. She has to see the floor, punch out of it, front salto right into a gorgeous artistic jump.
And look at this, a 9.775 for Vanessa Atler of the United States. After two rotations, her teammate Kristen Maloney leads, Wang Mandan of China, then Sierra Sapinar. Katie Rowland of Canada is in 5th position. In the team competition, it's the USA, China, Australia 1, 2, 3 with Canada 4th. Rotation number 3 is next when we return to the Pacific Alliance Championships in Winnipeg.
Honey, what are you doing? Hey, this is all my expensive sporting equipment.
I told you.
Honey, I promise. More time with you, less time with sports.
You promise?
Of course I do. I love you. Oh! My car.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Call 1-888-SPEEDY-8 for a Speedy near you.
See you up there. Fun, huh?
Hey, Mom.
Leave any dirt out there? Hey, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay, listen up. We got some cripple stuff. OJ, cola.
I'll take one.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes like orange, tangerine, and lime.
It's got vitamins A, B1, and C.
Ready to go. Thanks, Mom.
Sunny delight. Goodness, kids go for it. I bought my first RV right here at Guarantee RV. I was so happy with the quality and service that I wanted to tell you all about it. Right now, Guarantee RV has a great selection of holiday ramblers, including the Aluma-Lite and Imperial Towables, or the Endeavor Diesel. All are made with Aluma-frame construction and come with a 5-year limited warranty. Many also come with a kitchen slide-out floor plan.
And they've got great showers. You should try one for yourself.
See Guarantee RV today for your quality home away from home.
We are back and about to pass the midway point of the women's individual all-around and team event. Zina McLaughlin of Australia has become a major player in both of those events. She goes to the beam now, no doubt drawing on expertise from her coach, Peggy Liddick.
Zina shows tremendous consistency, and that's a perfect example of it. Tough combination back tumbling mount. When Canada placed 8th at the 1997 World Championships as a team, Australia was not there. They chose to stay home and prepare for Commonwealth Games, and more importantly, the 1999 World Championships in China. At Worlds, it'll be critical to place among the top 12 nations in the world. And with tricks like that, Australia is a shoo-in. There are about 15 teams fighting for the last 4 spots. So Canada, Australia, those countries will have a battle on their hands to qualify for the Olympics. But Australia looks really strong right now.
And they look tremendously powerful heading to the Commonwealth Games in Kuala Lumpur in September. At the last Commonwealth Games, England won the women's team event. Canada was the silver medalist, Australia 3rd.
I think you're going to see a real change in the results at the upcoming Commonwealth Games. Look at the poise Zina works with. Very confident, very focused, which is exactly the psychological state you need on this particular event. Dismount, a big one, double pike. Very difficult to do in the pike position. Rarely seen.
And silence in the arena for the entire beam routine, which can be almost as distracting. There's Peggy Liddick with Zina McLaughlin.
Full twisting back handspring chest roll. Perfectly done.
9.525, the result for Zina McLaughlin on the beam. And that is an outstanding result for Australia. Here's Kristen Maloney of the United States on the vault.
A powerhouse on a very powerful new generation of American women. Double twisting Yurchenko. That's an unfortunate hop. I thought she could tie it down. Twists so quickly in the air. Here's the round off entry. Bumps off the horse. 2 twists before she comes back down. Just needs to absorb through the knees a little more.
9.237 for Kristen Maloney of the United States, the average of 2 vaults. She's 17 years old, was at the World Championships in Lausanne. Now, Katie Rowland of Canada on even bars.
Very interesting. She's similar to Svetlana Horkina on this event. Uses her height to her advantage. Beautiful combination work. Every time she pirouettes like that, in combination, big bonus points. Heading to her Ginger release move. Oh, Scott, I have never seen her miss that. She's got to be shocked. A lot of the athletes will have their coach stand in. Katie's so confident on this Ginger release move that she doesn't even have a coach stand in.
And that fall will be devastating for her all-around total.
Which is too bad. The routine is really well done. That overshoot to handstand, that is a D and a 0.1 bonus. But there's no eliminating the 0.5 error for the fall. Winding up for her dismount, giant double pike. Oh, and she even sticks the dismount, which is twice as frustrating because she has a fall to count.
Well, Katie Rowland was off the bars. That will be the watershed in terms of the score, 8.650. And so with one apparatus to go, it's Kristen Maloney, Zina McLaughlin, Wang Mandan. Katie Rowland drops to 9th position in the team event, the United States, China, and Australia. We're back in Winnipeg and the Pacific Alliance Gymnastics Championships right after this.
For 50 years, Honda has led the way from the Isle of Man to Daytona. Right now, you can experience what it's all about. Take a demo ride today, and you'll know why Honda leads the world. You owe yourself this one, the chance of a lifetime. The Honda 50th Anniversary Sale. Your best chance to own a Honda in a half-century.
Sometimes the temptation can be too much. But if you've decided to quit smoking, Nicorette nicotine chewing pieces help take away the cravings for a cigarette. And that may be the edge you need. Nicorette, because you're bound to be tempted.
The challenge is waiting for you.
Cook Municipal Golf Course in Prince Albert, ranked 3 stars by Golf Digest magazine as one of the top courses in North America. This beautiful 18-hole municipal course is renowned for its scenic layout, strategic bunkers, and challenging water hazards. Practice your skills on Cook's driving range and putting green. Afterwards, relax in the lounge, and be sure to browse the pro shop. Golf one of Canada's best. Cook Municipal Golf Course.
The challenge is waiting.
R&L Appliance Sales and Service in Waldheim offers you the Bendex Combination Washer Dryer. It washes and dries in the same machine. Plus, it uses 50% less energy, soap, and water, making it ideal for cabin, condo, or RV owners. See it today at R&L Appliance Sales and Service in Waldheim. This year, the Station Arts Summer Theater presents Spirit Wrestler, a Doukhobor story written by Greg Nelson. This is a powerful play about courage, freedom, and hope as the Doukhobors leave their homeland in Russia to settle in Saskatchewan. Call the Station Arts Summer Theater for playtimes.
The fourth and final event for the women: Scott Russell, Carol Angela Orchard, Karen Larson at the Winnipeg Arena. Zena McLaughlin, the floor exercise.
Oh, nice opening line. Whip through to immediate double pike. Lovely. 2.5 punch front, very precise. The judges want to make sure that all rotation is complete before she touches down. And she is right on.
The 17-year-old Australian national champion, very much in contention for a medal here. Kristen Maloney of the United States led after 3 rotations.
And what a boost that would be for her heading into Commonwealth Games. Elegant, flexible. This is her 3rd, but she has another tumbling line planned as well. A lot of athletes internationally, oh, gorgeous jumps, are doing jumps like that, pushing for 4 tumbling lines. The judges are really going to like this routine, Scott. If she can tie down that last line, she's got everything in it for a great score. Excellent double twist in the 4th and final line. Breathtaking routine.
There is the leader of the Australian women's team, 17-year-old Zena McLaughlin of Victoria, Australia.
A tough line to do at any time, especially in the 4th line. When you're tired, triple twist, cranks it right around. She completes the number of rotations that's required for a great score.
Brooke Walker, her teammate, in behind. 9-6 is the score for Zena on the floor exercise, so that will stand her in very good stead in the all-around competition. Lise Leveillé of Canada now to the beam.
We started the show by talking about it was wonderful for Canada to start on floor, get their confidence up. It's tough to finish on balance beam. This is definitely Lise's best event. That is why Team Canada has selected her to go up first. Back handspring layout, fighting. If the team can get a good start, if she can nail this routine, it's going to build the confidence for the rest of the competitors. And that's exactly what Canada has to start doing on this event. Aggressive, determined, and focused. Punch front, right into the jump. If she can connect them, it's extra bonus points.
She has all the credentials, won the beam event at the 1997 Junior Pacific Alliance meet in Colorado Springs.
A lot of confidence right now. She's been practicing this role for 2 weeks at the national team training camp, going up first. It's a big responsibility, and she's handling it beautifully. She's going to feel for the end of the beam to make sure she has enough distance for the dismount. Round off, double back. That is a great start for Canada.
There is Canada's Lise Leveillé. Hails from North Vancouver, British Columbia.
The main point of this routine is she was solid and stayed on. There'll be a couple of deductions here and there, but psychologically, it's a great start. The rest of the competitors are going to follow.
Veronique Leclerc, Katie Rowland in there to congratulate Lise Leveillé. 9.225 on the beam. Kristen Maloney of the United States led after 3 rotations in the all-around event. Zena McLaughlin was outstanding in her final apparatus.
And Maloney starts it big right here. Huge Shaposhnikova. She has tremendous ability to really work the rhythm of the rails. It's a flexible rail that if you work the timing just right, you get big swing into tricks just like that. Her routine is well balanced, strong mount, big tricks in the middle, and a huge dismount, winding up, full twisting double layout. USA will really be pleased with that.
1997 USA Gymnastics Athlete of the Year in terms of women's competition. A 9.7 for Kristen Maloney on the uneven bars, and that should salt away for her the all-around championship. There's the American team coach, Donna Strauss. Veronique Leclerc of Canada now goes to the beam.
And a precarious position to be in. Veronique is last up for Team Canada, and this is not her favorite event. But if she approaches it like she does on vaulting, pure power, pure confidence, she's got a shot at it. Scott, she also knows that all of her Canadian teammates have stayed on. That's a lot of pressure for her. Back handspring, layout, layout. Ooh, one of the best she's done in competition. She works extremely hard on this event, but it is so tough to stay on in competition. I think she'd prefer to counter vault twice instead of going to balance beam, but look at her fighting every step of the way.
Canada will be in tough to catch a medal here.
Good combination, split jump through to back handspring chest roll. The Canadian coaches have been working so hard. They come from a strong club-based system, working with the national coach to put together a program that's going to allow these athletes to hit under pressure. One big dismount, round up double pike. That is her best performance in competition on balance beam.
Lise Leveillé and Debbie Vidmar applauding that effort by Veronique Leclerc. There's her coach, Michel Chiron.
And the celebration is based on the fact that every Canadian stayed on beam. They hit on the toughest event of all. Very important heading into Commonwealth Games. There will be some execution errors, so the score may not be high, but psychologically, they're on the rise. Watch this, huge dismount, double pike, keeps the leg straight all the way around, tough to do, makes it look easy.
So there is indeed cause for celebration on the part of Canada as Veronique Leclerc scores a 9.125 on the beam, the final apparatus for Canada in these Pacific Alliance Championships. And the team gold medal is going to go to the United States, led by Kristen Maloney, Sierra Sapinar, Vanessa Atler. Elise Ray is in there as well. Recall that the United States won the 96 Olympic gold medal. They're on the rise again. The final results look like this. The U.S. with a rock-solid effort to outdistance Australia and China. Canada winds up 4th ahead of Japan. Kristen Maloney is the all-around champion, just ahead of Australia's Zena McLaughlin. Sierra Sapinar is 3rd. The top Canadian, Lise Leveillé, who's with Karen Larson.
Scott, I'm with the top Canadian, Lise Leveillé. Lise, a great performance for you today. What went right?
Well, most events were pretty good for me. I was really happy because I stuck them, and I stuck them really well, so I'm really happy that I had a consistent meet on all 4 events.
I think the biggest smile I saw from you was at the end of your beam routine. Tell me about the beam routine.
Yeah, I was a little nervous for beam because beams, well, it's a longer event and there's no music like floor, and so after I stuck beam, I was really happy to get that one done, and the whole competition was done, and I was glad that I did well. So,
well, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Karen. Well, they didn't win the meet, nor were they expected to, but the Canadian women have to be awfully encouraged by their performance here today.
I know I'm very encouraged. The fact that our 4 Canadian women can go out there and hit beam 4 for 4 in the last event when all the pressure's on, that's a huge sign heading into Commonwealth Games.
An ominous sign, though, as the Commonwealth Games approach in Kuala Lumpur in just 2 months' time, and that is the Canadians have to be aware of the Australians, a team obviously on the rise.
Definitely. This is a team on fire right now. Everyone is so impressed with their development, and if our men have a chance to retain the gold medal at Commonwealth Games, they've got to get down to business now, get the job done now.
Coming to the Pacific Alliance Championships here in Winnipeg, it was a given that the Chinese had lots of depth, but I knew that you were obviously impressed by the performance of the Americans.
Absolutely. The men and the women. The men didn't win. We expected them to, but you can see the potential. The future is very bright for that team. And the women, talk about guts and glory. They had some injuries. They push ahead. Keep your eye on this team heading to Sydney 2000.
We'll see all kinds of the Americans in the individual event finals, which is next for us next week. Meantime, stand by for Labatt Blue Jays baseball on CBC. Toronto plays host to the superb New York Yankees. Then tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the engines roar on the waterfront, the Molson Indy Toronto qualifications. Then across the country, the Indy goes to Pole tomorrow. That's live on CBC Sports at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. Next week, our second show from the Pacific Alliance Championships, the event finals, at the Winnipeg Arena, as we say. For Karen Larson and Carol Angela Orchard, I'm Scott Russell. Thanks for watching. Now let's send you to Skydome, the Jays, and the Yankees. Today, Winnipeg plays host to elite gymnasts who are puzzling over how to get to the podium at the Pacific Alliance. Their mission, and they choose to accept it, is to conquer gymnastics' new code, the rules and regulations which chart the road to success in each event. In changing times, the code is the key, but not easily cracked. More is expected. More is required. The Code, gymnastics roadmap to expert execution. A startling study in how intricate victory can be. A directory of precision. Stressful at times, no detail can be missed. There is absolutely no room to maneuver. The equation is this. Numbers on the board come from split-second decisions. Presentation of the code's interpretation. To wear the medal, you have to know the rules and pay the ultimate price to learn gymnastics' tricky dialect. To be the best, you must devour the book and then translate the code into action. Today, the Pacific Alliance Gymnastics Championships brings the specialists to the fore at Winnipeg Arena. The individual event finals go to the podium as Canadians continue to fine-tune for the Commonwealth Games half a world away. But just to let you know, the Australians are waltzing to the challenge. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott Russell along with Carol Angela Orchard. It's the event finals today, and the Australians have been impressive. Silver medals in the team events, and they've got a full complement this afternoon.
Definitely a team on the rise. They are so determined to qualify full teams, a men's team and a women's team for Sydney 2000. They're on the right track.
Let's talk in particular about Andrei Kratsov, Russian-born but now competes for Australia, the all-around champion for the men, and he's qualified in 5 of 6.
He's a very interesting athlete. He's not like some of the guys we're going to see out there today that love to live on the edge. He's very controlled, very calculating. His approach works for him.
How about the people who are going to challenge him?
Okay, don't expect the Americans or the Chinese to go home empty. empty-handed. Superb athletes. But remember, this is a day about event specialists, and Thailand has some specialists that are going to amaze you.
The Canadian women merit our attention. They've had strong performances already, and they are represented at 3 of 4 events.
It is wonderful to see 3 Canadians in 3 different event finals. So that's proof positive that the program is working, it's building. Look for Katie Rowland. She probably has the best chance to medal today. She's coming in 3rd place on floor. But remember, it's new life. Everyone has to start at 0, but she has a beautiful routine.
One athlete has a chance to be a star, Kristen Maloney of the United States.
She's going to be very busy out there today, Scott. She qualified for all 4 event finals, but she is dealing with a few injuries, a few nagging injuries. But she's very determined, very dynamic. I don't expect she'll have problems today.
We'll look for Maloney of the United States, but it's a Canadian man who leads the way to the floor final, and he's standing by with Karen Larson.
You're right about that, Scott. Gatineau's Sebastian Forte did qualify first on the men's floor exercise. Sebastian, maybe a bit of surprise given that this is only your 2nd international competition.
A little bit, but I've always done well in Canada, so.
What have you and your coaches talked about keying on here today to have another great performance?
Just doing the same thing we've been doing at the other competition, being consistent, doing the best I can.
Well, best of luck here today, Sebastian. We'll be watching for you. Scott, back to you.
Thanks, Karen. This weekend is busy on CBC. Rowing from Lucerne, Switzerland follows us. Then at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, it's the Jays at Fenway to face the Red Sox. Tomorrow, the US 500 on Molson Canadian Race Night. Check your local listings there. And Golf Skins game is from PEI Monday and Tuesday across the network to the men's floor exercise event final. And this is the expressive 16-year-old Jing of China.
Expressive is right. He has had a great time all week, smiling at everybody and doing huge tricks just like that. Starts with a double layout. Of course, he will be deducted for that slight step. What is impressive about Jing is the huge difficulty he's throwing on every event.
Impressed in the individual all-around competition, finishing 2nd to Andrei Kratsov of Australia.
And you can see right now, he's going to do extremely well in pommel horse finals today. Showing it off, warming it up now on floor exercise. For a young athlete, he's very well-rounded, extremely strong, very flexible. And although he has a lot of fun out there, he's extremely confident and quite determined to succeed. Nice, innovative side salto. He actually meets all the requirements, Scott, and then exceeds them, and that's what impresses the judges. This is a full 10-point start value. Excellent finish.
Just a slight hop at the end of that final line, but 16-year-old Jing of China has impressed with a great floor exercise here.
Definitely, and he is just so young. Can you imagine him a year from now at the World Championships in China? Here's his whip, 1.5. 1.5. Great spatial orientation. He knows exactly where it is. Just needs to snap his feet under him a little more.
Scored a 9.150 to qualify for the final and exceeds that. Yes, a 9.4 for Jing of China. 21-year-old Sebastien Fortier of Gatineau qualified first for the floor exercise with a 9.250.
And he actually starts with the line Jing just finished with. Ooh, he mentioned earlier, Scott, that consistency would be the key. And that is obviously a deduction for going out of bounds. Back on track, Sebastian's floor routine is interesting in that he uses the code of points extremely well. He's cracked the code and knows how to get those valuable bonus points with good pommel horse work.
Did not compete in all the apparatus in the individual all-around competition, and so finished well down the list. But he was 4th at this year's Canadian Nationals.
Well, that's the essence of competition these days. All the athletes don't have to do all of the events, and most of them are putting their strongest elements in on their best events. Exactly what Sebastian's doing right now. He doesn't have the traditional big tricks, but they're very intricate, and the judges like twisting elements. Finishes with a double twist, needs to be higher than that, a little more rotated as well.
Well, he recovered well throughout the course of the exercise, but that mistake on the opening line will hurt Sebastien Fortier.
The floor is only 12 meters by 12 meters, and I think Sebastien needed 1 extra meter to fit that whipped 1.5 line inbounds.
Clearly out of bounds, and there's the result, an 8-5 for Fortier of Canada. Chris Burley, the top Canadian in men's individual all-around, he was 9th and hoping for better things as the Commonwealth Games approach.
The new code of points is a real difficult animal to tackle, and it takes a lot of wear and tear on your body. And I think if we can master that and get a little bit stronger, and we can get our psychology, as Yegor says, our psychology ready, then we'll be all set to defend our title in Commonwealth.
Chris talking about Yegor Kolesnikov, who is one of the national team coaches, also his personal coach. They train in Hanwell, New Brunswick.
And psychology will be the name of the game for Chris today. He was disappointed with his day 1 of competition, and he looks very solid right now. Obviously, this is Chris's best event. And with 2 sore ankles, he's actually tackling the code of points the best that he can right now. He's capable of more on this event, but he is getting over an injury to both ankles.
Got a great history on the floor exercise, had a terrific routine in '94 in Victoria at the Commonwealth Games to help Canada win the team gold medal, and then was 9th at the World Championships in 1992 in Paris, France.
Oh, he's got everything that is required to win a medal. Right there, showing his active and passive flexibility. The biggest trick he's saving for the last line. This will be important. Chance to medal, full twisting double tuck. That's a good routine, and he's going to feel a lot better about his performance today.
Well, as you said, Carol Angela, his best event, and Chris Burley brings it out of the bag today.
Exactly. This is the quality Canada needs from Chris Burley to succeed at the Commonwealth Games. Once his ankles heal, he'll be able to throw every trick in the book once again.
Results are in, an even 9 for Chris Burley of Canada, and so the medals in event finals. First up, Jing'ahui of China takes gold. The Australian Krapsov the silver. Chris Burley bronze. Up next, the women vault for a spot on the podium in Winnipeg.
Drive into Travelodge locations across North America where you can earn Travelodge miles on each stay. Redeem Travelodge miles for guest rewards like free nights, airline miles, watches, cameras, and more. Plus earn 750 Travelodge miles between